Okay, hello. I think I'm on a few minutes early. This is your magnificent call, and it is October 6th. And the reason I'm mentioning that today is because it's a special day. It's October 6th, 2018. If you're here, please say hello, just for me to know who's here. I know I've just gotten on a few minutes early. I'll just wait a couple of minutes and then we'll start. And this is your magnificent live call. To look proper. Okay, so today is October 6th, 2018, and it's a day of celebration. It's a huge day of celebration if you're Egyptian. It might be a huge day of celebration if you're Arab. For Egyptians, 45 years ago, we fought a war that brought us all our land back, and that was so important for our collective consciousness, for our feeling magnificent, for our feeling we can. We got our land back, every bit of it, and that was important due to this war. So I'm celebrating and I hope you do too. And it's something to be very proud of, and it's something that will help you raise your vibration by thinking about how amazing that is, to have every bit of your land back and to be able to get it back and to live in this kind of peace for 45 years now. It's been 45 years and we are living in peace with our land, and this is very important for our emotional health, for our vibration, basically, for our vibration on that scale. Okay, because if there's something part of something you own, part of it is you're not in control of it, or it's gone, or it's been stolen from you, or whatever's happening, it's always in the back of your mind. It's on your mind somehow. And that was the case before. And when we got our land back, then it feels different. It feels different. So it's something to give gratitude also today to all the people who made it happen. The army, the planners, the mothers who gave their sons to the country, the wives, the children, their fathers didn't come back. There was a huge payment for that to happen, and for me to feel that I am on my land and every bit of my land I can go and visit. It's all mine, it's all back. And for every one of us who is enjoying all of Egypt, all of Sinai, all the beauty of Egypt, you have to realize that there was a price paid, and we thank them very much. There was a lot of blood and a lot of giving, which is actually a lot of love. People gave love with their heart. They gave their life. They gave their whole life so that we can have that. Okay, so today, magnificent life. And today I'm going to talk about people who feel they may not good enough, when in reality you are good enough and you can. And that goes with what happened with that war. But anyway, so a lot of times that is a big issue, and it seems to be a pretty universal thing. Few people don't have this I'm not good enough at some point, because every time you're up the scale, you're getting this, am I good enough? Am I good enough for this? Am I good enough for this job promotion? Although you really believe you deserve it from your conscious level, but the subconscious might think, am I up to it? Am I good enough? Will I fail them? Am I good enough? It shows up in interviews. It shows up in people who are afraid to get married. Women who are afraid, will I be able to handle? Women who are afraid to have a child. They talk about wanting a child. They say, yes, I want to have a child. Yes, I'm trying to have a child. And their body is stopping them, because this is a lot of in the back of their mind saying, you may not be good enough mother. And a lot of times the whole story is just emotional. They're afraid to be, maybe they won't be good enough, and they don't want to be that way. So that stops us a lot. It stops us out from moving forward. It stops us from doing the business we dream of. It stops us from going forward in whatever we want to go forward in. It's a huge stopper, and I experience it too. When I feel like I'm always thinking, what's going on? I'm afraid I won't make it. I'm afraid of failure, which means you're afraid you're not good enough for whatever it is. Because if we have a lot of fear of failure, it means the only reason you would fail is because there's something you have a lack. So if I felt I'm good enough in, I don't know, writing a Word document, I don't worry about that. I just go and write the Word document. But if I'm afraid, like, oh, I don't know how to upload a video and this looks complicated, then it brings me apprehension and I feel like I'm not good enough. Now that's on a simple side. But if I'm afraid to set up a business, I'm afraid to get on stages, I'm afraid to actually do X, it's because I'm fearing I'm not good enough. And of course we're scared to fail, we're scared people will criticize, we're scared people will make fun of us, because it happened when we were young, from the parents often, sadly, I don't want to talk about that, or the teachers, or children who are really pretty cruel. Children in schools are really cruel. If we adults talked like the way children talk to each other, people would really hate it. And people can't be in society talking the way children say it straight, like, you're awful, you're not good, you don't know how to do that, you're stupid, I'm sorry, I don't know what. And because that happened to us when we were young, even if we don't have a conscious memory of it, but probably it happened, or we saw it happen to someone else, it built a fear in us. We don't want to be in that position. Like, I don't want them making fun of me and crying like that child was crying, or feeling so bad like my friend was happy. So anyway, let's take a deep breath. Not feeling good enough and whatever. So think about it. What aren't you doing? What aren't you doing that's because you're afraid you're not good enough or you won't make it? So what aren't you doing? You're not applying to a certain job. You're not going to study something you want to study. You're afraid you won't make it. You're not starting that diet maybe. You think you're not going to make it, so you're not good enough in that. You're not good enough in keeping your commitment to eating a certain way. What aren't you doing because you're afraid you're not good enough? And we're going to tap on that specifically. So specify it. Take a deep breath and see how much trigger is there. How much is it true that you're not good enough at X, at this X thing? So is it a 5, is it a 7, is it a 3, is it a 10, is it a 9, whatever it is. And then let's just tap about it, feeling not good enough about this. So even though I'm afraid, or it could be I believe, and I believe it's usually I believe I'm not that good, I'm not good enough in that. I totally and completely accept how I feel right now. Even though I believe I'm not that good, I'm not good enough for that, I totally and completely accept and love and accept myself. Even though I believe I'm not that good, I'm not good enough, I totally and completely love and accept myself. I'm not good enough. We start with the points, and if you don't know the points, just do what I do. I'm not that good. I don't think I'm good enough for that. I don't think I know how. I'm not sure I know how. And if I know how, maybe I don't know it well enough. I'm not that good. I'm not good enough. That's one, and let's take another one. I'm not that good. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough at doing that. I'm afraid I'm not good enough. This is the fear inside my body. There's a fear running up and down my system, telling me, what if you're not good enough? What if you fail? What if people make fun of you? What if everybody criticizes you? What if they make fun of you? What if they reject you? What if they reject me because I'm not good enough? What if I get rejected? What if I get hurt again? What if I get hurt again? What if I feel bad again? What if they make me feel awful again? What if? And what if? And this might have brought up some feelings. It might have made you feel worse. You might have remembered something. And if that's the case, just keep tapping without words, or tap on the new issue. Maybe you remembered when you really were rejected, or maybe you remembered when somebody called it a failure, you did something, or they actually said, you're not good enough. You're not good enough for our company, your English isn't good enough, your skills aren't good enough, you're just not good enough. If something was triggered, a very specific situation or a specific event, then tap on that event. Not good enough. Okay? So if you have a very specific event, tap on that event. Hi Asma, how are you? Okay, so thank you for joining. So this is what you're going to do, right? So I'm just going to do another one. When you get it calmed down to like a 5, work on that one specific issue, whatever, because we started with not good enough with X, and now you remembered something. Work on that issue that came up, or continue the first one. But what if we can do this? What if I am good enough as I am? What if I'm good enough? What if what I know is good enough? And if I need to know more, I'll learn it. What if I am already good enough? What if what I know is enough? What if my skills are enough? What if I'm perfect? I'm already good enough. What if I'm already good enough? And what if I start and notice what's missing, I can improve on that? What if I just start? What if I go ahead and believe I am good enough? And I can learn more if I need to. I choose to feel I am already good enough. I choose to feel I am able to improve whatever area I need to improve. I choose to know that I am already good enough. And I choose to know that I can learn whatever I need to learn and fulfill my dreams. You could do something around that. Just tell your mind, so what? What I know is enough, and let me start. And if it isn't, I know how to learn. I'll go to a course, I'll do this, I'll do that, but I will be good enough for my mind. But sometimes it's just all in our mind. And sometimes by doing this tapping, not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm afraid to fail, I'm afraid of their criticism. And this could be about your sports, your golf, your tennis, suddenly you feel, that's not true. I am pretty good at it. I'm more than average. I'm pretty good at it, actually. And something lights up like, I do really well with that. I'm not, oh my God, I'm good. And that is amazing. If that happens, that's amazing, because you're done with that. Okay. So this is what's important, is knowing that this is good, that you need to know that you are good enough, and you need to tap this over and over and over on the specific subjects. And like I said, it could be a sport, it could be an interview, it could be a job opportunity. You're scared to apply for that job. Tap it and see. Tap it and see. And see what happens when you tap it. Because when you tap it, things change. And if there is really a missing skill, you can learn it. Because if you want that job, you want to be a speaker, you want to do X, it's in your heart. Then all you have to do is improve that skill and get there. Because it's already in your heart. You want to do it. Okay? Thank you for the hearts. Whoever sent the hearts, thank you. And so that's where we're at. We are building a magnificent life, which means we need to do a lot of clearing of all the things that are stopping us from leading the life we want. So magnificent means it's magnificent to me. Now, somebody outside may not think it's magnificent. But if I do clearing and now I can apply to a job, I feel more magnificent. My life is now becoming towards more magnificent. If I do clearing and I stop the resistance, or I stop the self-blame, or I stop X, then I'm feeling better and I'm on my way into that I'm building my magnificent life. Now, others may not, they're going to say, I don't see a better diff. What's the big deal? And I'm going to say, the big deal is I actually dared apply. Maybe I didn't get the job, but I dared apply. So next time you will get it. This time you applied, which is fine. Next time you'll probably get it. I dared set up the business even if it's small. I dared write that letter to that person. I dared speak up. I'm changing my way. I'm on my path, and the path is called Magnificent Life. I'm building it, and I'm doing the same with you too. I'm building my magnificent life with you. We're all together. Every day I'm trying to do one step out of my comfort zone, one step different from what I do, one step towards a more magnificent life, a life that I'd like to be happy with when it's towards the end of my life. Okay, so I'll be seeing you next week. Please send me your questions, and if you have any questions,